This episode of Critical Hit is being brought to you by HelloFresh. Please visit HelloFresh.com. Use the promo code CriticalHit30 to save $30 off your first week of deliveries when you subscribe. I've got a couple of questions for you guys this week. First of all, how many of you have cats? Yeah, okay. You can put your hands down now. Actually, if you raised your hands up in public. Please write to me, podcast@majorspoilers.com. You know, we've been doing this Pathfinder game for a couple of weeks, and we've run into some recording schedule problems. People have other activities that they have to participate in and other things going on. So when we sit down to record an episode, it's kind of a big deal. And in April, we were planning on recording every Wednesday in April so we could get through even more of this great weird Western that Sam is putting together. Had a new cat in the house the last couple of weeks. And it's a nice enough cat, you know, as far as new cats go. But I went to go set up for Critical Hit, and with Critical Hit, it means there's a lot of wires that have to be re-hooked up and laptops that have to be set up and things connected to audio boards and all of this kind of thing so we can bring you that experience that you all love. And I go to pick up a cable, and I find out the end of it is missing. There's the other end of the cable. I pick it up, and it's not the same part of the cable from the other cable that was missing. Oh, there's the missing part of the cable. Wait a minute. These are 3 different cables. I have never had a cat in my life that has gone on a chew up the cable spree. Ever. I mean, maybe one cable in the entire time that I've had a cat. But after we discovered the problems that were going on, we did a search of the house. Any cable that was lying on the floor, Xbox cable, PS4 cable, telephone cable, mic cables, chewed through completely. No wonder we weren't getting any phone calls in the last couple of weeks. We thought people were just mad at us. For those of you that have cats, what do you do? What do you do? I know the simple answer is pick up your cable, Stephen. But I mean, really, seriously, a telephone cable, a charging cable for your iPhone, a charging cable for your computer, chewed completely through. I mean, those are things that are going to sit on the floor. So for those of you with cats, please tell me, what do you do? Now, I've heard everything from get some fresh habanero peppers and rub them on the cable. I don't know if that's something that will work. Go and get a cable. There's these cable protectors that you can buy. That's basically just a clear tube that that's split on one end, and you wrap it around the cable, and that's supposed to protect your cables. But I mean, this cat, it doesn't matter. I think it would have chewed through those as well. So I'm curious, for those of you that have cats, have audio cables, or just any kind of cable, what do you do when your cat starts chewing through the cables? I really need to know. Needless to say, because our local Radio Shack is now more cell phone store than actual electronics store, I was not able to pick up new cables on Wednesday, and so we weren't able to record an episode of Critical Hit this week, which makes me sad, because it's been about 3 weeks now since we've sat down to record, and I'm going a little RPG crazy. I need to sit down and game with some people. That's probably another thing that's probably happened to you, is you sit down to play with you want to sit down and play with your friends, but you don't have any friends to play with. I think that's why there are systems like Roll20 that have searching for group type functions where you can go out and look for people who are gaming. And I know there are several systems out there that do that. So maybe that's an answer for you. I know that there's always Facebook groups that are popping up everywhere talking about role playing. And of course, with the magic of the internet and the Facebook Hangouts, or Google Hangouts, not Facebook Hangouts, different company for now. But with the Google Hangouts, people are going out and enjoying all of that. But I'm getting a little stir crazy, which is why I'm so happy to be able to sit down and edit together an episode of Critical Hit for you this week. Now, just because we didn't record Critical Hit this week doesn't mean that we don't have episodes in the can. That's one thing. For those of you that are new to the show, that's one thing that I always try to do, is to have at least 3 weeks of shows in the can, ready to spring upon you at a moment's notice. There have been times in the past where we have literally gone week to week But in the last couple of years, we've been really good at getting these out to you each and every week. And a lot of that has to do with our patrons and our VIP members. And I guess one of the things I would like to ask you, if you are out there listening, and I know there's a lot of you out there listening, if you get something from Critical Hit each week, if you get a laugh, if you get a smile, if you get a tip on how to do something, if you just enjoy the story, and you want us to continue this show far into the future, I mean, we're up to what, 6 years on this show, 7 years on this show? We could go 7 more years. I mean, literally, we sat down after the Call of Cthulhu game, and we just kind of outlined what other game systems would we like to try out? Who would like to GM? Who would like to go and do something after Sam is done? And so I know we could keep this show going for 15 more years, but we can really only do it with your support. So if you're someone that enjoys this show or enjoys any of the shows that we do at Major Spoilers, head over to patreon.com/Major Spoilers. But something as simple as $5 a month can ensure that this show continues and that we're able to do other shows. And yes, people keep asking about Modern City. We can definitely bring back Modern City, but we need the funds to do it because we need to ensure that we don't have 3 or 4 weeks between recording sessions. We need to ensure that we have the funds available the next time this cat chews through cables. Anyway, if you find this show enjoyable, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. We really sincerely appreciate your support. And I know that there are tens of thousands, multiple tens of thousands of you who are listening to this show every week. And I know that many of you can reach down and find that those couple of extra bucks each month to throw our way to ensure that you are able to listen to this show each and every week. So patreon.com/Major Spoilers. The other thing that's a problem, and this is something that people have asked us over the years, is, hey, what do you guys eat when you are playing Critical Hit? And the answer is, we don't eat anything. And people are like, what? And it's because when we're recording, you don't want to hear as people are chewing their food, and you don't want to hear somebody going, oh, sorry, I got some in my mouth while I'm talking. You don't want to hear any of that. There have been times in the past where we've taken food breaks. But maybe you are someone that likes to cook a meal for everyone when they come over to your house to game or RPG or whatever that you want to call it, game night. And man, you come home and you're such in a rush from everything going on from work, and you really don't have time to sit down and cook a big meal. That's where HelloFresh comes in. If you don't know about HelloFresh, this is really cool. We've had HelloFresh a couple of times here at the Major Spoilers HQ. And the doorbell rings, you open it up, there's a box sitting there on your front porch. And if you're not there to receive it, of course, all of the ingredients are packed in some frozen insulated stuff that keeps everything fresh and cool. But inside you find all of the ingredients that you need. Yes, you may have cumin up on your shelf, but if the recipe calls for cumin, they include that in that HelloFresh box. That's what I like. You just unpack it, it's all there. The instructions are easy to use, and the food is so good. Here's the cool thing. HelloFresh currently has a number of different boxes that you can choose from. You've got a classic box, a veggie box, and a family box. And you can order 3, 4, or even 5 meals per week designed for either 2 or 4 people. 4 people sounds perfect for game night. And there are new recipes added every week. And the nice thing is, if you like a recipe, they include the recipe cards and the instructions. You can just set that aside. And if you want to go have that again before the next time it arrives at the door, you've already cooked it once. You follow the instructions. Super easy to follow these instructions. I love it. HelloFresh is the meal kit delivery service that makes cooking fun so you can focus on the whole experience, not just the final plate. As I said, there are delicious recipes delivered to your door, step-by-step instructions designed to take around 30 minutes from anyone who is a novice. And I know many of you out there are not good cooks or have never cooked before, or you may be a great cook. And these instructions are so simple and easy to follow. HelloFresh sources the freshest ingredients measured to the exact quantities needed, so there's no need to waste food. There are 2 full-time registered dietitians on staff at HelloFresh who go through the recipes to ensure that it's nutritionally balanced. And as I said, it delivers right to your doorstep. HelloFresh is now offering light spring meals and has, what's this? They've just introduced a breakfast option. Oh, I love that. So, here's what you need to do. For $30 off your first week of HelloFresh, Visit HelloFresh.com and enter the code CRITICALHIT30. It's really important that you use CRITICALHIT30 to get that $30 off your first week of HelloFresh when you sign up. I think you're really going to be happy with HelloFresh. Some of you may already be using HelloFresh. Raise your hands if you're already using HelloFresh. Again, just like before, you don't really have to raise your hands. I can't see you. But if you do use HelloFresh and you like the service, and if you have answers to what do you do to a cat that chews your cables, just drop me an email, podcast@majorspoilers.com. I would love to hear from you about both of these things. All right, enough of the jibber jabber. This is actually a long episode, I think. I'm looking at it and it says it's a long time. Let's get to this weird Western. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for all the positive comments that you've been sending our way about shows from this off season. We enjoy playing a bunch of different games and a variety of different games. But right now, our game is Pathfinder, and our GM is Samantha, and we are in a town called Perdition. Let's see what happens.
A town called Perdition.
So everybody goes to sleep, and in the morning, you wake up.
An eventful night. Wonderful. It's
Nice.
raining frogs.
And you have no hands! Ah!
Russell is a little bit hungover. Your what's it called? Alder's dog is sitting basically like right by the door and pawing at it because she wants to get out. Everyone else is woken to the smell of fresh baked bread, except for Eshin, who is outside of town. When you wake up, there is it's like a curved stone that looks like it's vaguely in the shape of a bowl, and there is water in it.
Like over by him?
Yep, right by you.
I'm going to see eyes back and forth, trying to check my surroundings without actually moving. See what I can get out of my peripheral.
Oh, that cactus you drank from last night is not there anymore.
Not there at all.
Nope. The big one is. The little one is not.
Huh. I'm gonna sniff at the bowl of water. The bowl.
Make a perception check.
Oh, yay. I trained perception. Not that it's gonna be any good. That's the same roll as last time. And it's the same roll as last time, 25.
So it is. I mean, it smells like slightly floral. You think it's been maybe flavored with something, but doesn't smell bad. You would say maybe it's been flavored with like fruit.
Drink it.
Tastes delicious. Nice, clean water. Slightly flavored like cactus fruit.
I'll check out where the cactus was. Does it look like...
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was going to say, does it look like there was a cactus here at one point?
Yeah. I mean, so cactus has they have very shallow roots, so it's not like there's like a lot of big dirt that would be disturbed, and this was a small cactus to begin with, so it's hard to tell. You rolled really well though. So, yeah, you would say there probably was a cactus here, and must have been removed very gently, like there's no residue of the roots that being there at all. But there's like a one or two spines that were left behind that you're pretty sure came from that cactus.
It's kind of scan.
I mean, so you see, more cactus, more kind of withered plants.
Are there any more of the species of cactus that disappeared?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Okay.
Cactus detective.
In this episode,
Gonna-
the cacti that bind.
Wow.
A Quinn Martin production.
I'm gonna pocket the stone and head in the general direction where I'm expecting to meet them.
Cool. So yeah, the innkeeper who had introduced herself as Emily will serve you guys some breakfast. There's some eggs and some bread. The bread's actually not bad.
Not oversalted.
No.
Not overly spicy.
Spicy bread is the best bread.
Uh-huh.
I like
I will
sweet
eat
bread.
breakfast.
As will I.
Me too. I
I'll
trust
try and
everyone.
find breakfast.
I trust everyone slept well.
Yes, well enough.
Good.
Was a quiet night.
A shot rang out, but otherwise, yes.
I was quite surprised that no shots did ring out, to be honest. I expected some sort of trouble.
Well, this is something good. It is good that nothing happened.
This is true. This is true.
Russell just sits very straight up, eats his food quietly for the rest of the meal.
Mm-hmm.
How was
Can
your
I
head today?
My head is fine.
Oh, also surprising, but good to hear.
Good meal is the best way to start your day. Takes care of most problems.
I'll pull out a cactus fruit and peel it with a knife.
cool? Emily sees what you're doing. It's like, if you want, I could bring you a plate for that.
Oh, no, this will be fine.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's
Then,
Plenty of
Alright.
those in the area. I like frying them up sometimes.
yes, they are very good for you. They are very sweet. Obviously, the catch is you have to peel them just right because the spines grow in both directions.
Oh yeah. It's almost more trouble than they're worth.
Yes, that is exactly what it is. And that is why they survive, I suppose.
Well, can I get you guys anything to some lunch for your travels?
I would take a loaf of bread if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, of course. I've got some hard cheese I got too. If you can make yourself some sandwiches on the way.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. And well, so you all bound for Mexico together?
No, these are my associates. I will probably be the only one making the trip down to Mexico when this is all set.
Well, safe travels then, and maybe I'll see you guys pass through on the way back.
It's
Maybe.
entirely possible. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we get up,
Mm-hmm.
pay our bill. Where's the judge at?
Go down the stairs.
Good morning.
Morning.
Did you have to go out last night?
Things were quiet.
Well, then we should probably be on our way.
Agreed.
We
Go
shall
get the
make our
horses.
way to the stables.
Cool. The horses have been already fed and watered in the morning. The dogs are out playing with each other.
Okay, get on my horse.
Mhm.
And say, Russell, you get Eshen's horse?
Any sign of our big friend?
I believe
Oh,
he said he would meet us.
Yes, we will meet them at the edge of town.
Very well.
Alder will snap his fingers so that Dawn comes along.
She obediently comes, looks somewhat forlornly at Huckleberry, who sits and watches as you guys ride off.
New dog friends. Next season on Critical Hit, Doggo Adventures.
This is actually all just a prelude to Pugmire, the next game that will be running this season.
Excellent. It's a game.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that. That is great.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
All right, so you guys start heading south, and they get to the point where you were expecting them to rendezvous with you, Eshin.
I assume one of them brought my horse.
Yes, here it is.
Hop on the horse.
Cool. There's a fairly clear path south that you can take.
Yep. Lead on.
Onward.
Any problems, Session?
A cactus disappeared.
What?
Disappeared, like magic disappeared, or sprouted legs and walked away disappeared? Or you maybe ate it in the middle of the night disappeared?
At the stream where I ate this porcupine.
Where did disappeared, gone, taken. It was makes digging motions.
So you saw somebody dig up a cactus?
Dig. Yes, that's no. The cacti don't have the rot.
The root?
No. He is talking about the blight.
Oh.
The plants around here that are more blighted are the
Like the weeds and the flowers and things like that.
yes. He'll grab a stick or something that he can just easily snag and snap it in two.
Oh, they are damaged?
Yes. Weaker. Weaker.
So the weaker plants are affected more?
That's what I seen.
So now that he's mentioned it, if we look around, will we also notice what he's talking about?
Yep. So yeah, as you guys start riding, there are plants. They seem to be browning, wilting. Like some of them are giving off that kind of like overly sweet smell that you get when you've got a plant that's rotting. And it's for the most part the smaller or older looking or damaged plants. Like that one had like a wagon wheel, you think, roll over it, and that might be something it could normally recover from, but now it does not seem to be doing well.
So we found 2 cactus, and I damaged one.
And then somebody came by and took it?
Yes, while sleeping.
Oh, so you did not see them?
No.
Did they leave a trail or footprints?
I could.
You had a really good roll. There were no footprints.
Yeah. No footprints. It was hard to tell that it was gone. Roots gone.
So you broke a cactus, then went to sleep. Then when you woke up, it was like the cactus had not been there.
Yes. But it had. There were sharp cactus.
The needles
Needles. There were needles.
left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a trail of needles?
Just a couple. Just enough so I know I'm not seeing things.
I see.
Hmm.
How far are we? How far away are we from your home, Eshin?
Sam?
You are, so your home is pretty close to the port. You'd say, I mean, from where you actually live, it would still probably be like maybe. So you'd have to be you're going due south now, so it's like less than a day's ride due south, and then to get to actually your place, you'd probably want to go like a day and a half in. So that actually that's how long it would take you to go in. These guys who don't know how to navigate a swamp, it could take a lot longer.
So 2.5 days for me?
2.5 days for you, yeah.
2.5 days, or 2.5 days for me.
So, do you think this is an indication that the blight is spreading, getting bigger?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is not good.
This is very not good.
How long have you? I mean, so it's been 2.5 days since you started noticing this and came to us, or how long has it been since?
How long ago did we start to notice the blight? I don't remember if you...
Oh, so you started noticing the blight fair longer ago, because you had to, like, the blight was noticed, and then there was a lot of debate about what you guys were going to do about it. So, and then there was like some kind of official party that was being sent, and they couldn't figure it out, and that's when when your aunt was like, you need to go outside the swamp and find help.
All right, so
it's been like almost like maybe it's been more than a week. At this point, probably about 10 days.
Okay.
He'll hiss. Then say the Comanche word for 10. And then
I'll like hold up my hands and start like going. How many days? Like 1, 2, and like start holding up fingers.
He'll hold up both hands, which will be in the Vulcan sign, since he's got the 3 fingers.
But he looks human now.
Looks human now, but he doesn't know how to separate the fingers.
I see.
That's great.
Oh, good. It has only been 6 days.
Well, it's hard to tell if this is if it's rapidly progressing or if this is a steady rate of spread.
Well, as far as I know, the people that were originally in control of this have not let it get this bad in a very long time. So, unfortunately, I could not tell you at what rate it spreads normally.
Okay. Well, I think it's probably best we make haste to the port.
Yes.
It seems wise.
Maybe a faster than normal pace, not a full gallop.
Sure, you can trot.
A hustle.
Yep.
Cue the track.
So you're going to start getting towards the port in early evening.
Okay.
And you smell this place before you get there. It smells like briny salt water and like coal smoke and fish. And it's just like even though the sun is setting, so it's naturally getting darker, it's also just getting darker as you go through. Like, this place is polluted. It's clear that there's just a lot of like industrial activity going on here that is making it not like the air is not especially healthy.
I was also going to mention the bowl.
Oh, sure.
Also, this non-disappeared next to me while sleeping.
So somebody stole a cactus and they gave you a stone bowl?
It had cactus water.
So somebody stole a cactus and gave you some water.
Seems like a fair trade.
Did you?
They snuck past me in sleep.
Well, you are both from around here. Is there any sort of fairy or elf that does something like that?
That sounds like a knowledge nature check.
I don't know nature.
It sure is.
Nature or arcana?
Nature.
Woo, nature.
Fortunately, I keep my fairies numbered for just such an emergency. How do you feel about a 19?
I feel pretty like that is good. So you have personal experience with this sort of thing.
I have?
Yeah.
Tell me,
boy.
what do I recall of this?
Well, I mean, you haven't met.
Sorry,
like
flashback.
you know that there are certain creatures that can take the form of plants, and can be animate.
Do these
And
creatures have a name?
yes, they are called dryads.
Oh. So you, my friend, met a dryad.
What's a dryad?
A dryad is a creature who will take the form of a plant, but is actually, well, not a plant and not an animal, but they spend time in plant form. So clearly, the reason there are no roots is they may have had no roots.
So they did sprout feet and walk away.
In as many words, yes.
To clarify, so dryads don't like take the form of plants; they are part.
They live in plants, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
So, you actually probably don't think that it is possible that the cactus walked away, because that can happen. There are animate plants. You know that with your knowledge nature check. And dryads can sometimes control plants. But you're thinking a cactus of like the size he's describing would not be a dryad. Dryads have to be large. The plants that dryads would inhabit would have to be large. Basically, imagine any plant that like a person could fit inside could potentially have a dryad. And they're fae that live inside the plant and can emerge from it, but they are still tied to the plant. And if that, say, plant was destroyed, the dryad would be destroyed as well.
Was this a large cactus or a small cactus?
Hold up my hands for about the size of the cactus.
It's like the size of a basketball.
So probably not actually a dryad.
Well, unless the dryad came out of a larger cactus and was like, "Oh no, my little cactus."
It
They
was
can't
under a
control
larger
plants,
cactus.
correct?
They can control plants.
And Alder will convey that information in the most loquacious way possible.
Mm. Well, let us hope that it was in fact some sort of mystical, friendly creature. Do you feel different after drinking that water, Eshen? Did you feel like more handsome, like a more handsome lizard?
No.
You feel not thirsty.
I didn't want more liquid.
I see. Well, that is good too, I suppose.
Would there be any significance to a dryad leaving water? Or would they just be taking care of him?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like just dryads sometimes will take care of people, as again, you know. But yeah, you'd think that would just be like a little gesture of hospitality, actually.
That too I shall convey in a way that does not make me sound stupid.
Maybe if we find our way back to your house, Eshen, just sort of ask your elders if your people already have a relationship with dryads.
Yes.
Maybe this creature knew of you and was taking care of you as per some previous accord.
Hmm.
Seems plausible.
We find out other time.
Of course, of course. There is no huge hurry on this. It seems like something that happened. In any case, it does not seem to be related to our current issues.
But the information about the plants is very useful.
Yes. Especially if we, let's say, if these are, I don't know, specifically cactus dryads, if such a thing is possible. Perhaps they are actively protecting the cactus from this, from the blight. And that is why they are not sick.
That is an interesting theory.
A cactus is a very hardy plant. It could be that simply the cactus being used to living with in harsh conditions, and it could be either, it could be both, it could be neither.
Yes, we can spend a lot of time speculating, but we won't know until we get more information. It is just something to keep in your mind.
Agreed.
So,
what does the bowl look like? I take the bowl, look at it.
It doesn't really look so much as a actually crafted bowl, more like a stone that has a kind of soft divot in the middle, so it's good for holding water.
But nothing special about it?
Nope.
I hand it to one of the others to look at.
Alder will take it from him.
Okay.
And examine it.
Nope. It looks like a rock. It smells slightly of cactus.
I shall hand it to Chema.
I'll look at it and then hand it to back to Eshen.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, it looks. Yeah, I don't sense anything about it.
Yes.
Pocket it again.
I suppose it's best to assume that whatever the entity was, it was not malicious.
Anything else happen last night, Eshen?
No.
Okay. We ride on to the town, the port city that smells.
Yep. So yeah, insert that description from earlier. Yep. It is smelly. It is dark. It is smoky. You guys start riding in. There's actually like some fairly the road widens significantly. So it's clear like the road you're taking from Redemption is like a kind of more narrow road for people who are just like a few people on horseback, but there are clearly larger roads that are coming out of here that are going to Redemption and to various other places for actual large caravans that are taking stuff that is arriving from the port to various destinations in Texas and beyond. And so you're starting to see some of that traffic as you come in.
Do I think that it would be incredibly unwise to cover my nose and mouth with a handkerchief?
No, that's actually totally reasonable. It's kind of dusty. There are other people, like, it might be weird if you covered it with, like, say, a red bandana.
A red bandana? Yeah, that's what I was wondering, is would it look like a highwayman?
No, I mean, it would...
A tiny highwayman.
The reason why, a lot of highwaymen wear such things is because people do that anyways, because it's dusty and dirty and they don't want actual stuff in their nose.
All right. I do not have a red bandana. I shall put a cloth across my face. It is, I don't know, can't be blue. That's the opposite.
It's amoeba
green.
print.
Exactly, amoeba print. It's actually tie-dye.
And Brian, you're still in your judge getup?
Yes.
All right.
I love it. I love it so much. The hanging Judd. His friends call him Judd.
That gets a lot of looks.
Keep on writing.
At least I'm not the one getting stared at.
I mean,
Yes.
people see big dudes on horses all the time.
What about little dudes on ponies? What about that?
You see that too.
Okay. With a dog who's clearly just a dog.
As we get into town, I'm going to try to look around, especially at if there are any like town guard type people or anybody like on top of buildings or something. Keep it like to see if anybody's essentially keeping an eye out for us, and if like when they see us, they like take off or something like that. Like,
sure.
I'm trying to keep an eye out to see if somebody's expecting us.
Make a perception check.
15.
Cool. And yeah, make a sense motive check too.
Okay.
And again, if we don't see that, we don't have that. Sort of. For sense motive?
Sense motive might be able to. You might be able
Can
to
be
do
untrained.
untrained.
Yeah, you can do both perception and sense motive untrained.
Okay.
So that's 22 for my sense motive.
Cool.
Actually, I might have one more for the perception check. I think because of my gun, but maybe it's only during a judgment.
Yep, that's only during a judgment.
Okay. Never mind that.
Cool. So yeah, you see, like, there's a few. This place is shady. This whole place is shady. There's lots of guys. Like, there doesn't appear to be like any type of official. Like, you don't see anyone wearing a badge, but you do see lots of guys with cudgels. Like you would guess that this is the kind of place that's operating with like a private security system, where basically various interests have hired muscle to protect said interests.
Right.
So there are definitely people taking note of you because you're not the typical group that comes in. And you do spot like one guy, like not on a roof or anything like that, but some guy with like a cudgel who's standing near like a building, like gets a gander of you guys and like starts like not running, but like walking kind of briskly towards the dock.
Okay. I'm gonna spur my horse a little bit and see if I can catch up with him.
Cool. Yeah, he is not on a horse, so that is pretty easy. He sees you, and
basically, when he sees me specifically head towards him, like, what does he do?
Oh, he like gets really looks really nervous and starts like trying to like maybe pull out a gun.
Oh,
do the rest of us notice this now? And do we notice what's going on?
Yeah, you see like Chema like spur his horse. You're not exactly sure what, like, you guys can make perception checks to spot this guy.
Okay. All right.
Can I, if he looks like he's thinking of going for a gun, can I peace bond him?
Yes, you can.
At a 19.
23.
21.
Cool.
I may have rolled wrong.
I have made the same roll all night long.
Cool. So yeah, you guys see this guy. He looks like he's about to go for the gun. What's your DC on peace bond?
So that would be, I'm sure that's written somewhere, but it's a first level spell.
So it's going to be 10 plus 1 plus your casting stat modifier then.
So that would be 3.
So yeah, he goes for his gun and like it like sticks for a second, and then you're on top of him.
Yep.
I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Hello, friend. Let us have a quick conversation.
Okay.
I'll dismount at like on top, like practically on top of him. Like basically, I'll cut him off with my horse, and then I'll like get off my horse right in his face.
Mm-hmm.
So I
this guy looks like
you seem very worried.
Yeah, this guy looks like he's about
What?
20. He's wearing like pretty shoddy clothing. Pretty sooty. He's got the cudgel and like a gun. Almost kind of an underfed look. He's like, yeah, the Jackmaster wants me to let him know if any old thing that looks like trouble coming into town. You look like trouble.
Well, I won't deny that, but was he looking for something specific?
No, he was looking for, Renfield. We heard that we had a shipment out of here that got hit by them a few days back.
Mm-hmm. I see. Does it seem like that's true, or does it seem like he's hiding something from me?
No, that seems true.
Okay.
And like, what is that? He like points to the judge.
Oh, well, that is the infamous hanging judge. So I suggest
back.
you are on your best behavior.
He gasps, like, "What are you doing here?"
To me?
Yeah.
These individuals had a bit of trouble, and I thought I would join them in their journey to help out.
Oh, okay. Well, he like leans in. It's like, if you're looking for justice, could you help me?
What help are you needing?
One of my friends he's missing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'll pull out like a little pad and a pencil.
And who was this friend?
His name is Henry, and he works on the docks. It's just manual labor. It's not the brightest, but he's a good guy. But I haven't seen him in days now. And he would have told me if he was leaving town.
I see.
I'm sorry, you continue.
Yeah. Very well. Was there anything he told you before he disappeared?
No, he'd gotten a job off some loading, but that was pretty standard.
Do you know where that job was or who it was with?
Some boat. I don't know. That's not really super specific, but I think it was at down by the Western warehouses. Maybe I tried to go down there, but they won't let me in.
I see. I will see what I can do.
Thank you.
I'll pull out some money and give it to this guy. Be like, we are conspicuous enough as it is. I would like for you to not tell people that you saw us coming to town. Is that all right?
Yeah. I can do that. I'll be totally silent. Keep it. It's my secret.
Great. Thank you so much.
Pockets the money and darts off.
It is something. It is likely that is simply an issue with crime in the town, but it is good to know.
Yes. Certainly something we can look into if we have the time here. Or I can, at least.
Do we have a specific idea of who or what we might be seeking in Los Brazos? That was out of character, by the way.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay.
I mean, not other than this artifact that I talked about.
Uh-huh. So, worst case scenario, if we were to maybe look into this thing.
Do a side quest.
Well, it may
Yeah,
not even be.
we'll level up so that we can take on the
Yeah.
main quest.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
did
you gotta
have a
grind a little
telegraph
bit.
saying that from your counterpart in Mexico City, saying they thought that a suspect actually came through this port.
Hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Should we make inquiries at the one of the law offices?
I think I will. We may want to find in this situation a shadier spot to stay, simply so that the judge can operate without drawing too much attention.
Very well.
Seems wise.
Cool. You can do that. There are no shortage of shady spots in this city. There are, like, if you want the shady spot that's mostly from, like, Mexican sailors, you can find that. If you want the shady spot that's mostly for dock workers, you can find that. If you want the shady spot that is also a gambling den, you can find that.
Is there a shady spot for vigilantes and his companions?
Right.
There is not a specific shady spot for that, no. But there is a, like, let me think what the shadiest spot would be. So there's basically, like, the Flop House, which is, like, a place where it's, like, the kind of people who are down on their luck, haven't found work in a bit, town drunks sort of places can find. So, like, the lowest rent place in town where, like, no one wants to talk to anyone. And that would probably be the place where no one would ask about the guy dressed like the hanging judge.
And also the comings and goings of the judge and his jury.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, totally coining that, we are the jury now.
No, go ahead.
Would not necessarily attract undue attention.
Yeah.
You know, so I that sounds like a winner.
Okay, then.
I'm going to get a mask of my own, and I'm going to call myself juror number 5.
The hung jury.
So, yeah, you find a place. It's called the Lantern Moth. And it's got a picture of, like, a moth outside. And is just in terrible condition. And what's funny is that, like, you know, some of you know, like, this is not that old a city, but actually, Stephen, you would know with your profession, carpentry. You think that a lot of the buildings here just have not been properly treated for, like, the humid climate,
Okay.
and so things are, like,
Decay quickly.
Yep, exactly. Just rotting quickly. And, like, that this was, like, built quickly and shoddily for, like, to be as efficient as possible for a quick boom, and is not, like, eventually maybe they'll, like, rebuild some of this better, but right now it just seems crappy. Like, the place stinks. There's rats. There's lots of rats. There's feral cats. Feral
Cowboy
dogs.
equivalent of the Motel 6 on the bad part of the highway.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is called the Lantern Moth, so they have left the light on for us.
I was looking at the other place. It has no name, just a sign that says girls, 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 grog, girls.
I guess we check in if there's
Hope
such
we
a
can
thing.
Check out.
Yeah. There's, like, this wiry guy who, like, looks like he's a few cups in when you guys walk in. He, like, points at a sign that says the cost, which is nothing. And is like, if you pay him, he, like, gives you a key to, like, and is like, that has a number on it, and you guys are all staying in like the same room, which is a pit.
Very well.
No, I'm not.
Room for 4.
Well, I guess tie the horses outside.
Yeah, I mean there are like actual stables elsewhere in town, but like not at this place. No one.
Okay.
People who stay here can't usually afford to have a horse.
Oh, we're going to come out and our horses are going to be on cinder blocks.
I just put a new stereo in Wildfire too.
Well, we might have to take a trip to the stables after we check in.
I
That seems
agree.
Yes.
That might be prudent. We hate to have our horses get stabbed or something.
Well,
emergency rations
if-
are very important.
They stab horses, don't they? No? Okay.
I got it.
If
That's why I like you.
The rest of us did too, but
Sam's still young enough to laugh at my jokes and not have cynicism eat away at her very soul.
that'll change.
It'll get there. She's only been DMing me for like 5 episodes now. She'll get it soon enough.
So yeah, you check into your luxurious accommodations.
mm-hmm.
Well, as hellholes go, this is somewhere in the bottom third, I would say.
I've been in worse places.
Yes, I have too, but not usually by choice. Still, this should be a good enough place, especially because we can start asking questions.
Yes.
I think it will allow our comings and goings without quite as much discussion as well.
So, how would you prefer to do this? I would like to speak to whatever passes for local law enforcement, but if they see me asking questions around there, it might make it a little bit more difficult then for me to ask questions around here. So, would you like to split up? Maybe the judge asks questions of the criminal element,
Yes.
and I can try to move through official channels.
Yes, I think I will make my way towards these western warehouses. See if I can perhaps find any information there to either situation.
Well, how about you at least take Eshen?
Very well.
I think I will go with you, Chema.
Okay. Russell, this is your choice.
I think it might be in the best interest of the missing person if I go with the judge.
Very well. I'm hoping that my outing will be largely bureaucratic. But it is like my grandmother used to say, del plato a la boca se cae la sopa.
Yes.
Do any of us speak Spanish? In character?
In character? I don't know. Do any of you speak?
Look at your language.
Check your character sheets.
Yeah, look at your
Yes.
character sheet.
Oh,
It should
my
say.
character sheet has languages.
I do apparently know Spanish.
I apparently do not. And what does that mean exactly?
Oh, it means from the plate to your mouth, the soup falls off. It means that even simple things can go wrong.
All right. So who wants to start?
I'll start on the second half, so I'll give it to the judge.
Cool. So you start investigating. What do you do?
I pretty much kind of slink around the western warehouses, keeping an eye on the entourage that's coming with. Thankfully, Ashen tends to make that pretty easy. See if there's any individuals who we can isolate and maybe make some inquiries of.
Cool. Are you trying to be stealthy or
Yeah, I'd probably stealth it up.
All right. Well, then why doesn't everyone go in with your group? Make me stealth checks.
Okay. Yay, dice rolls.
Stealthy.
26 for me.
Cool.
Nice. And I'd roll a nat 1.
Oh, Brian.
Of course.
Yes.
We love you, Brian.
Yet somehow not the lowest stealth roll tonight.
If that mattered.
And yet what I rolled off screen was lower. So you guys are surprisingly effective. Like you're just strolling around town, but you're benefited by the fact that like this is a smoky area, so like you kind of have natural cover. B, there's like a lot of just junk around here. Like there's not good sanitation. There's just like boxes and crates and like machine parts that are just kind of strewn around. So and you know when you like spot someone you don't want to see, there's always seems to be like a convenient place for you to duck behind. But yeah, so basically, as you kind of get to the western side is the side that's closest to the swamp and thus further from the central port. And the warehouses look more decrepit. You think probably also because of like there's worse drainage and humidity is higher, and there's all sorts of other problems with being closer to the swamp. And also like the bigger ships that can, you know, pay more and do bigger shipments are going to be closer. So you're looking at like some smaller projects out here. And you've got like guys that look like guards, you know, much like we saw with the guy with the cudgel before. Some look rougher than others. Some look like they're probably just paid scouts to report to other people.
And what was the guy's name?
Henry.
Did we ever find out, like, this artifact? Like, what kind of...
It's an owl statue.
It's an owl statue. Was it in any particular sort of conveyance? Or nope? You
were told that the suspect would board a boat.
Was on it. Okay.
How big was the statue again?
I probably made like a physical, like when I was talking about it. So Sam, it's like the size of like a palm, right? It's like, I mean, it's something that you can hold in one hand.
Yeah, it's like a statuette.
Green thing.
Also, Sam, sorry to interrupt this, but like, do I like? You know, I got that telegram that was like a suspect. Like, do I already know that we have a suspect?
No, that was the
like
first you'd heard that there was a suspect.
Like, okay, all right.
I think we probably want to at least start with one of the guards.
He said that he had gotten work down here, working at the docks, loading and unloading. Might be a place to inquire first. See if there's any open spots looking for, you know, hired hands.
I mean, I'm thinking perhaps we could have Ashen ask.
Probably a good idea.
Since he's a big guy. They'd probably see him as an asset if they're needing to move cargo.
Eshin, what? Go ask one of those dock workers over there. Ask them if they have any jobs for you of loading and unloading. You had heard from a friend, Henry, that there were jobs down here.
Why?
We're trying to find out what might have happened to Henry, and perhaps by dropping his name and your size and potential skills of lifting things up, that they may point you to the same place that Henry went.
Okay. Shrug. Wander over to wherever they told me to go.
There's like a guy who's overseeing some, other guys that have they've got basically like this is pre-forklift, so they have ropes that are tied around crates, and they have these like special almost like scythe-like tools that they're using to like lift the ropes with the crates so they can get more moving at a time. And he's like supervising that effort. But he turns around when you approach. He's like, "Can I help you?"
Henry sent me.
Thought
you could use a lifter.
Oh, well, sure, but Henry's on the other team. I mean, the big secret project or whatever. What did he want?
Where?
The FAR warehouse. Were they looking for like more shipments or to go to their processing?
I was just told to lift things.
Okay. All right. What was your name?
Eshin.
Oh, funny name. All right. Well, if you want to help my guys with the unloading here, but this isn't bound for the FAR warehouse. This is going to Central. Is there like a new shipment that's going to the FAR warehouse? I hadn't heard anything about it, but
I guess.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess if you want to help out here until that handles, then I can go supervise the unloading. It's such a pain that they won't even let us in, though, and they're not having any of their guys come out, just like have us drop it all off. They're like, oh, we'll process it later.
Any chance that we can hear any of that?
Yes, do we?
Yeah, make stealth checks.
Okay. Let's try this again.
For a security
Wow.
guard, this guy was well connected.
28.
23.
That's our boy.
There you go. Follow up that one with a 19. It equals 20.
Yes.
Oh yeah. This guy does not see you, so you guys can get pretty close. He's mostly distracted. Like you found what you like. This guy's a stock supervisor. So that's probably why he's like relatively well connected and aware of goings ons, and he's also in like the right area. And you've just got the impression that these guys talk a lot. Yeah, you guys can overhear this just fine. He's like, hey, wait, no, lift with your back. Lift with your back. I am not paying you any extra if you get hurt again.
A sharp twisting motion with your back. Do not lift with your legs.
So he goes off and does his thing?
Yeah.
All right, we try to signal to Eshin to come back.
Yeah.
But you told me to lift.
We told you to say that to inquire about a job, but you did a good job.
Yes. It was very informative.
I will get you a chicken later.
One of those aquatic chickens.
Yes.
Humans.
No. Bad Brian. Don't cross the continuity stream.
Too late.
I mean, Sam already mentioned a gambling house.
Yeah, but they burned it down.
Gambling houses. They work in basically any genre.
And it died with an awful sound.
So we need to go down to the FAR
Yes.
warehouse then.
Yes, we should check that out.
Yep. So we stealthily stealth down to this secret warehouse.
Team Justice working in the shadows.
Eshin, if you're stealthing, I'll get a new stealth check from you, but the other two can keep theirs.
Hooray.
Sweet.
Stealth.
Are either of the other two indicating that I need to stealth?
We should do it quietly. And we should do it with
15.
without drawing any attention to ourselves.
Subtlety.
I figure if he's conspicuous, then it draws attention further away from us.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing bright red gloves and a mask.
So Eshin starts sneaking or like turning away, and like that supervisor guy's like, "Hey, I thought you were gonna lift for me."
Just
Oh. Okay.
Sneak away.
Oh, boy.
Well, we
We
know
will-
who's paying for the inn tonight.
Yes. We will check out the location while he's busy with that, I suppose.
I will go do manual labor, apparently.
Cool. You are very good at this. You are very strong. You are stronger than any of these people. They are impressed by you.
There's a reasonable chance I'm stronger than any two of them combined.
That is very possible. So basically, then like some of them start like trying, like you are the strong silent type, but like these guys think you're very cool and want you on their team from like forever. They're like, "Oh man, what's your name, Eshin? Eshin, where are you from, Eshin? You are awesome."
Swamp.
Huh. Swamp. Never heard of swamp. Is that like like a small town?
East.
Oh. Well, welcome. Glad you came. You're making today a lot easier. We're gonna just get able to start kicking back some beers early. We'll buy one for you. All right. So stealthy team.
Mhm.
You-
Stealth around there, team stealth.
You guys get to this warehouse at the back of the very like basically back of the line. It is not in good shape. And it stinks. It smells like rot and chemicals. Actually, like before you even get to the warehouse, like there's a path you can take going from the front of the warehouse, but like the back of the warehouse just empties out into like a scrap yard, which just looks unhealthy. It's like just filled with like rusted metal and like just like a pile of junk in the middle. And it also smells terrible.
Might be better to go in through the back.
Yes, let's check out the back.
So, sorry, are you going through the junkyard or
Yeah.
into the?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going through the back area that's not...
Okay. As soon as you approach, Stephen, make me a perception check.
All right. 17.
There is a ghost here.
Whoa.
Mm.
Does it look like... What does it look like?
It's so it is like you're just seeing it. Like you can actually almost you're at like the very periphery of it. You can't even see it yet. You think that you can only see it like you're like about to approach the junkyard,
Mhm.
and you get just like a sense that there is a ghost here.
Okay.
And you think you're only getting that sense as far as you are because this is a powerful ghost.
Okay. I sense something ahead that is quite powerful. If we proceed this way, we will need to be extra cautious.
Okay, then. I will keep an eye out.
You may not be able to see it before I do.
I can be fairly perceptive.
Okay. Start moving closer. Can I sense from which direction it is?
It is coming from the junkyard.
Do I sense? I guess I would need to do a sense motive, huh? To see if it's if it's intense or good or evil.
Yeah, you can try a sense motive check.
15.
It is extremely angry.
It's angry.
What is angry?
Whatever is up there in the junkyard.
Okay. We'll have to be careful then.
Does this feel like a person? Something else?
So you've never sensed anything quite like this. Like most of your encounters with ghosts have been fairly mundane. It's been like, you like saw a guy and it took you a second to realize that person was actually not alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they were all just like people.
Okay.
As it like imagine like if you say we're on a scale of like, I don't know, 1 to 5, like every ghost you've encountered so far, it was a 1.
Okay.
This is a 3, and also most ghosts, like, because things were 1s, they were like, if they were angry the way like, a normal person is angry.
Yeah.
This is angry like a thunderstorm is angry.
This is not good. We either... I honestly think this is something that we need Eshin here for. And quite honestly, it might be better to have the other 2 here as well. But if you want to proceed, we can. But there's something very bad about this area.
Well, if you have reservations, I will follow your discretion.
At the very least, Eshin.
Okay, let us wait for him and perhaps consider seeing where the other guys are at that time.
So there's another way to the warehouse besides the junkyard, right?
Yeah, so the junkyard is around back, and there's also the front, and you can, so you can get the path is taking you normally to the front.
Okay. What about the side? I mean, you said that this building was pretty rotten.
Oh yeah, like you could also look around to see if there are like windows or things like that.
Yeah, I would guess as a carpenter I would know some, hey, 16 on center, man, or 10 or whatever that they did back then. Find
Sure.
a weak spot in the board and maybe pry that open to look inside, or find a crack in the wall to be able to peer inside.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Carpentry?
Yes. Roll me a carpentry check.
That clear part is a window.
17.
That cloud looks like a horsey.
Okay. So yeah, you are able to find it's actually like not as hard as you think, because this is basically an area where like it's effectively a loading dock. So it's like an area where the doors would open and people would like move crates in.
Okay.
And you're able to kind of like find a place and peek in through that. And you, man, when you peek in, like you put your face up, and the smell is just awful.
Ugh.
It smells like make a perception check.
Okay. 16.
Okay. So yeah, that's enough. You would say like there's the smell of like rotting wood, which you'd expect. But you are pretty sure there's also the smell of rotting meat, maybe even rotting flesh. And you see there's like through the place you look into, like a guy, he's wearing like really raggedy clothing. And he's just like very like focusedly unpacking a giant box and like putting things into the smaller boxes that, make sense to you. You saw evidence of that a lot outside. It's just making things easier for transport. In this case, it's like, looks like it's a bunch of grain. So he's got a shovel he's using.
Okay.
And he's just doing it like incredibly repetitively and monotonously and like not talking at all.
I'm going to have to figure out how to do this. I have an ability that might come in useful here called Detect Undead.
Handy.
Yeah, you want to use it?
I do, but the problem is it didn't print out on my character sheet how to perform it.
Well, I can tell you that.
Okay.
You basically, so you can, I gave that to you for free earlier.
Right.
And for you, it's somewhat involuntary.
Mhm.
So, but like now that you're thinking about it, oh yeah, no, that's, there is, it's not like the thing that you saw in the junkyard, but basically there is like, a ghost that is floating right above that guy, like right basically behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And it is attached to him, for lack of a better word. And there's a when you look at it real closely, like he like you can't see, but like there's it's so weird because you can't actually see his head or like or his face, but you like see this like lit up symbol like almost through the back of his head as if you're like his transparent, and I will share that with you.
Okay.
All right, so you see that symbol like just lit up when you stare at him
On the back of the man who's shoveling's head.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you think it's actually on the front of his head, just the weird way like your vision looks. Like if you were looking at him from the front, you're sure it would be the front of his head, but like you can see it even through him.
Okay. So from what I'm detecting, does this guy look like he's dead with a spirit attached to him, or is he alive and possessed?
He is dead.
Okay.
With a spirit attached to him. And that spirit that is attached to him, you don't have knowledge religion, do you?
I do not.
Okay. Something is wrong with it. You can tell that.
Okay. Do you see that man in there?
I assume I don't.
You would probably see the man.
Oh, the man. Yes.
He's dead.
See.
And he's being controlled by a spirit.
I see.
And there is a symbol on his forehead which I've not seen before. I'm guessing he has been either reanimated or that spirit is keeping him animated. But you also said he seemed troubled, Sam?
No, he doesn't seem troubled at all.
Okay.
He's
No, I
very
meant
focused on his work.
But does the ghost seem troubled?
Oh, something seems wrong with the ghost. Do you
Okay.
think the ghost is damaged?
Okay. Damaged as in, is it being controlled?
You honestly don't know enough.
Okay.
Like you've never seen anything like this,
Okay.
so you
All
couldn't
right.
tell.
Okay. And so the spirit that's controlling the man, something's not right with it.
Interesting.
And that smell that you smell,
Yes.
more than likely is human rot.
I kind of imagined.
I don't know how many more might be in there. I don't know if they would attack us. I don't have anything that will dispel spirits.
Okay. So
Unless you do.
No,
There's something really bad in the back.
Interesting. Yeah, this is definitely out of my area of knowledge. Are you still feeling that we should regroup?
I think it might be in our best interest. We heard the dock worker, the foreman, say that they weren't expecting anything down here. So if we were to leave for a while and come back, I don't think anything would have changed. We haven't set off any of an alarm, and it doesn't look to be anyone around. So there may be very little chance that they that this will not be here later.
Very well. As you seem to have some knowledge of this situation here, I will defer to your expertise. And yes, we'll let us go gather Eshin, or perhaps see if we can't find our other companions.
I think we should find everyone.
Can't be if he'll be a while.
And I don't want to do it right up next to this building or anything. As we move away, as we get back to Eshin, I draw this symbol in the dirt if I can.
Sure.
And
you can draw something that's pretty crudely version of that. Like you can't get all the details.
Okay. Have you seen anything like this before?
I'm guessing no.
Definitely not.
Okay.
No, that does not. No recollection of that.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's gather Eshin and get out of here.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to cut back to Rodrigo and Rob. Oh, sorry, Rodrigo and Matthew.
Team accent.
So
All
we've got
right.
ints in this game now.
Blah.
Shut up.
Takes a very long time. So yeah, we'll try to find. I guess start asking around, see if there's a sheriff or if it's all just kind of private security stuff or what the deal is.
So the best thing that they can offer is they can suggest you meet with the portmaster.
Mm-hmm.
They can direct you to his offices.
Okay. We'll head there.
Cool. So there's basically there's a central offices that seem to include like the actual port master, and then there's also like a nicer building next door that that you're told belongs to the actually guy that owns the port, who's
Right.
Arthur Wilson. But this guy is like the one who actually handles day-to-day operations.
Okay.
So
yeah, we'll
it's a-
we'll head into the portmaster.
Cool. It's a very practical, simple building. This place looks like someone actually did manage to take some care to keep it in good condition.
Mm-hmm.
So not falling down, not rotting to the ground.
No, not at this time, at least.
Give us some meat.
And so yeah, the walk in. There's a guy sitting behind a desk, like with a ton of paperwork in front of him. Looks like he's about middle age, but has like big arm muscles and a bit of a pot belly. Wearing a button-down shirt, suspenders. And he like stands up. He's like, "Can I help you?"
I would like to speak to the portmaster.
Oh, that would be me. I'm John Brown.
Oh, hello. I'll shake his hand.
Shake back.
My name is Jose Maria Raúl Pérez Prado de la Garza. I am a federal agent with the Mexican Federal Police.
Oh. All right. What brings you to my offices?
I am in search of someone who boarded a ship here not very long ago, or headed for here not very long ago, and this person has stolen something. So I am trying to bring that back to Mexico.
I see. Do you have a name or a description?
I do not, unfortunately. But I know I have a description of the item I am looking for.
Sure. What is it?
It is a small statue of an owl.
Oh man, my inventories don't have anything to do with like art or antiquities, though. I mean, most of the ships that come here come from Mexico, but do you have a timeline?
Yes. Basically, I'll go through the expected timeline where it would have happened, or this person would have arrived.
He'll pick up like some paperwork and like go through some folders. It's like, well, we only had one ship come in that day. It was
I didn't hear that last thing you said. Sorry.
So he like checks it against the dates you give, and he's like, well, we only had one ship come in that day, which was pretty standard freight hauler, bringing in some corn and some leathered goods, but there was a passenger on it, which was unusual. Actually, two passengers. So, yeah, apparently they said that they had to get the ship because one of them was sick. But yeah, some lady and this guy was sick. But I thought that was a little unusual.
That does seem unusual. Do you have their names?
Yeah, let me get them for you. Man's name was William Henry and Moira Greenwood.
And so the gentleman's last name is Henry, or was he William Henry Greenwood? Were they a couple or?
A couple, married, I believe. The woman was doing most of the talking. That's why I remembered her. She was pretty. Yeah, don't get many ladies through here, I'm afraid. Greenwood, married. She was taking care of him, said they'd been vacationing in Mexico when he took ill, wanted to get him home.
Alder tries to subtly signal to Chema that he knows the name.
Okay. Right. Oh, Alder, is there anything you would like to ask?
No. I'm fine.
Very well. We can discuss anything afterwards. Anything else that you think was maybe unusual in the last few days?
Yeah, I've had a few of my workers. Well, I mean, they've got some they're a rowdy lot, but I look after them, and I haven't seen them around, not at the taverns or the card halls. Then they usually come to me with their all their problems and asking for loans and advances. Exactly. And it's not it would be more relaxing that they haven't been showing up if it wasn't for the fact that they it's just kind of weird. Also, with the boss being gone, it just seems a little quiet around here.
I see. Did you expect that maybe they are sick? Is there something going around?
Not that I've noticed. I mean, I guess we had some dead rats, but hey, dead rats, nothing. I wish they'd all spontaneously die.
Do these Greenwoods, they live here in town?
No, they were passing through to Redemption. They had some big package of something that they had brought from Mexico. I figured just lots of luggage. You know how the ladies are when they travel, like to do a lot of shopping.
I suppose, yes. Did you know if they are still in town? Have they made their way to Redemption yet?
I'm pretty sure that they went through to Redemption because she wanted to get him some. Apparently, there's some kind of fancy doctor up there.
I see.
But come to think, I feel like the Greenwood, he was inquiring about some warehouse space. I don't know, some kind of project he wanted to deal with. I don't know.
Interesting.
Again, seemed a little unusual, but I put him in touch with the boss.
Oh, okay. I see. And you said your employer is not in town.
No, he went up to Redemption, so maybe they're sussing out the deals there.
Is there any way that I can figure out if he in fact did sell some warehouse space to this gentleman, or rented it, or leased it?
I don't handle the warehouse land rights, I'm afraid. I'd say you should talk to his assistant, but she went with him.
Thank you very much. I may come back and talk to you later. I am certainly hoping to get this squared away with minimal issues. So I will try to be out of your town as quickly as possible.
That kind of thing's honestly bad for business, but if your government thought this was important, then I want to make sure that they get all the cooperation they need from us.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I'll probably stop by later if we do.
Well, good luck.
Oh, Thank you. We will see you soon. Or hopefully not, I guess.
Right, and so when you guys are done from your scouting by the warehouse, you get back, and Eshin and all the guys that he was working with are gone.
Great.
Eshin, the guys insisted that you go out to drinks with them. You told him and they are at that same shady place that you're staying.
That's convenient.
I suppose we all roll up, or however you do it on horses.
Well, you guys didn't take your horses.
No,
probably.
we didn't. No,
We went back and got him.
we had our coconuts with us, though.
Yes.
You do your John Wayne walk up to the door, huh?
Well, maybe the hanging judge, but certainly not me. So we get back to the lantern moth, Sam.
Cool. It is exactly as gross as you left it.
Except there's dock workers here.
Yes, so maybe more gross.
Slightly gross. Or maybe a more crowded kind of gross.
Eshin. How was your day?
I did what you told me.
Yes. In fact, we're very glad that you had a productive day. Come with us. We need to go find our other friends.
Okay.
What are these other dock workers' reaction to the hanging judge if he came inside?
They are already super drunk.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that guy over there? It looks like he's wearing a mask, man.
Pay no attention to the man in the mask.
Okay, I just...
Enjoy another drink on Eshin. Flip him a coin.
They are more than happy to oblige. Two of them start arm wrestling over the corn.
All right. We start to head outside, or we do head outside.
Cool.
We need to find our friends.
Right.
Oh, you guys can be converging because your visit to the Dockmasters did not take as long as their convoluted forced labor scouting mission.
Right.
So we all run into each other.
Yep.
All right.
How was your meeting with the local law enforcement?
Interesting. Although does not seem to be law enforcement as such.
Okay. Any ideas on the item?
Some ideas. There was a somewhat suspicious cargo ship that arrived with passengers that booked a trip on it. Seemed strange. One of those passengers was going to speak with the person who owns this town, Wilson, about getting some warehouse space, but I did not have access to those documents. As it gets darker, I was maybe thinking of breaking in and finding them, but that is somewhat dependent on what you all found.
The hanging judge and I give each other knowing glances. Interesting that you said warehouse, because we found a warehouse that, for lack of a better word, is haunted.
Oh.
And there are some undead beings inside, or at least one.
What type of undead being are we referring to?
Human? Male? And then there's something else that is not human near the warehouse in the back.
How do you know he is dead?
I just know.
Fair enough.
I have to say, it is both refreshing and frustrating to not be the strangest person working this case.
Speaking of strange, and I quickly draw again on the dirt outside of the hotel. Does this symbol, are either of you familiar with this symbol?
You can make knowledge, religion, or linguistics checks.
5.
You have weird human language.
23.
Yeah, that is I'm blanking on how you pronounce it. Nahuatl?
Nahuatl.
Nahuatl. Those are Nahuatl pictographs.
Pictographs, yeah.
So
which I will literally just say out loud right now.
Okay, cool. And yeah, with that roll, you actually know what they're the pictographs for. The one that looks like the little hand is means grab or bind, and the other one means spirit.
I will also tell them that.
Well, that makes sense because the symbol is on the forehead of the dead man that I saw. And there's a spirit apparently attached to him, or from what the runes say that you described, it's bound to him, and maybe it's controlling him, or maybe it's what's animating his dead body.
Wait. You saw the spirit?
Yes.
We may need to have a conversation or two if you saw the spirit. Which warehouse is this?
It's the one way down on the end of the docks.
Of course, the one furthest away is always the one you need.
Yeah. I think it's very dangerous. And if we go in, we need to go in prepared. I don't know if you have special weapons or powers or potions.
I know some things.
For the dead? For the undead?
I know some things.
And maybe something more, because I felt something behind the warehouse in the junkyard. Something that wasn't human.
How do you mean not human?
You know how you're a human and I'm a human, and Chenna is a human, and the Hanging Judge is a human, and Eshin is humanoid. This is not like any of that.
So less human than Eshin.
More human, more anger, more destructive than human.
Does that sound like a familiar description?
Do you have knowledge religion?
I could try.
Do you actually have a skill? Because you cannot make that untrained.
I do not.
And no, you have no idea.
I'll give it a shot. A 7.
I mean, he's been pretty vague. There's lots of things that aren't human.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, it seems unlikely that these things are unrelated. The real unfortunate thing is that the most likely person who is implicated here, either William Henry Greenwood or Moira Greenwood, they have already presumably left town, and they're actually heading back to where we were. But if you feel this is worth investigating,
I think whatever it is, it needs to be stopped. And if it ties into your investigation,
yes,
then I think
it does. It does seem very strange that this far into Texas we would find Nahuatl glyphs.
And considering that it may be tied to your owl statue, I think we definitely need to look it over.
And the Greenwoods are from Redemption. They live there. They have lived there. So if they've gone home, they should be simple enough to find.
Right.
But I still want to see this dead thing with the angry behind.
You may not be able to see the spirits.
As I said, we may need to have a conversation, but I would still be interested in seeing.
Okay. Mr. the Hanging Judge.
Yes.
Can you give them a breakdown of the area surrounding the warehouse so that we know if we can go in fairly undetected?
Yes. I will endeavor to describe the area as best I can to so that we can make the best approach as undetected as possible.
Cool. You do not think that'll be too hard at night, but work basically stops on the docks, so.
Okay.
So we hang out, I guess, until nighttime, or maybe we go back down to the docks and wait until everyone leaves.
Sure. I mean, it's already basically the shift's already have stopped. So if you waited even an hour more, basically everyone would have cleared out because the boats aren't working throughout the night because there's just too much. It's too hard to see.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we'll make our way to the warehouse at the end of the street.
Okay.
Or is it the warehouse at the end of the lane?
Warehouse at the end of the town.
There you go. Warehouse at the end of the town.
The warehouse on Elm Street.
And so, this is a fairly large warehouse. It is in bad condition. The wood is rotted. It smells terrible. There's a smell of rot, that's very organic, and also the smell of something chemically.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Would we have any idea
of what?
Of what
that chemical smell is?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of what the best. Knowledge engineering would certainly get it.
Would a knowledge nature have any shot?
Actually, any knowledge. Right. Yeah, make any knowledge check. Just tell me what it is.
We'll try knowledge nature.
2.
Ditto.
Skablam, 22.
15.
I can make an engineering check.
Sure.
15.
Oh yeah, that's kerosene.
Fair enough.
It's used for lamps.
Mm-hmm.
For flaming of things.
Mm-hmm.
Or
so this place has a strong enough kerosene odor that we can spot it from the outside?
Yes.
Careful.
Yeah, perhaps we should not go in as they say here with the guns blazing.
Minimal blazing.
Seems
for certain.
Advisable.
I rub my hands together. Not a problem. Now, as I said, whatever's behind the warehouse is something I've never felt before, and it seems very angry. I don't know if you want to go behind the warehouse and deal with that, or deal with what's inside the warehouse. And
Did
go
the
through
thing
the front.
inside the warehouse seem more or less dangerous than the thing behind?
Well, that's interesting because the thing that I saw in the warehouse was, at one time, and technically still is human. If it's being controlled by a spirit, the spirit is human-ish as well.
I suggest we go into the warehouse, especially so I can get a better look at this glyph.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I can get a look at whatever this creature is. And then, it's necessary, if we need to, we can address what may be in behind.
Cool.
So we go up to the front door?
Yep. The door is locked, but it's a very simple padlock.
Yeah.
I pick in the lock.
You don't have any type of disabled device, but make
I poke at the lock.
If anyone has disabled device, you can do that. Otherwise, you could make a strength check.
Allow me.
Yank it off.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Judge. Do your thing. Here comes the judge. You know that's going to be it.
25.
Easy. Pops out easy.
Slide open the door.
Cool.
I'll have my rifle out.
Okay. Other people, I guess you're the only one that uses a weapon. So
I've got my fists out.
I have a handful of something.
All right. So you guys go inside. The place is you can tell where the kerosene smell is coming from. It's somewhat dimly lit by lamps, and it is filled with barrels and kind of discarded nets and crates. And you can hear so basically it's a giant room, and then there are like smaller rooms on the each of the corners that have like kind of almost like stall like entrances, and you can hear movement from inside of them.
Slowly approach one of the open stalls.
Yes.
So as you approach the stall, the door swings open, and almost simultaneously you hear 7 other doors swing open, and out shamble men. They are clearly have at least one point been like burly-ish dock workers, but now they are dressed in rags. They are clearly, part of them is they are clearly all dead, and have been at least for days. They are like pale and smell terrible, and like parts of them is like starting to rot. And on the foreheads of each one is that rune seemingly carved into their foreheads. And they look like they want to attack you.
See? That's the symbol.
I see.
Oh, Jess, I can see it now, Jess. Thank you.
All right. That wraps it up for this installment of Critical Hit. Thank you so much for downloading and listening. If you enjoyed this episode, and it was spooky. It was a spooky one.
It was spooky everywhere.
Yeah, it was. Blah, blah, kids. If you would like to help us out and make sure that Critical Hit is able to continue into the far future, then head over to patreon.com/majorspoilers. Patreon.com/majorspoilers is where you can go and contribute any amount you want. If you think that this show is worth $1 an episode, that's great. Please sign up for that because it does go a long way to pay for our growing costs of making this show possible. Until next time, I guess, when we'll see if we fight the undead. Here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2017 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.